soldier sent to war. One more promise, one more prayer, one more mother waiting there, one more victory, one more grave, one more kingdom someone came to save, one more story, history told, one more young man coming home old.
Another king, certain he's right. Another prayer begging for victory. No one asks for wisdom. I've heard these words for longer than they remember this time. It will be different, they always say. It will be different.
Odysseus, bright enough to solve the puzzle, foolish enough to become one. They call you brave. I have another word, not today. I leave doors open, I leave lanterns burning. I whisper, the rest has always belonged to you. To you.
The hardest thing about wisdom is watching people learn slowly. Father, enough. He has fought long enough. If there is greatness, let it be mercy. For all of us.
Another army, another prayer, another mother watching the road. The war is over. I answered, I fought your war. I buried friends whose names the sea has nearly washed away. I broke their walls, I burned their gates, I carried kings upon my back. And now the voices rise again.
One more crossing, one more shore,
One more road
before the road
that takes me home. I know how to fight, I know how to survive, I know where to place the blade to keep another man from rising. But somewhere between the battle and the burial, I forgot how a man comes home.
I am Odysseus,
Still standing,
still breathing,
still moving
toward the west. I am Odysseus,
I have crossed through blood and fire. I am heading home.
if home
Still knows my
The war is over, word came today, the ships are leaving Troy. The bells rang out across the town, I had forgotten joy. They named the living, named the dead, so many we once knew. I closed my eyes through every name until they came to you. I kept the house, I kept the light, I kept your place beside me every night. I kept my word through every doubt. The war is done, the tide has turned, you're coming home. I told the servants, open every room, let sunlight reach the walls. I found the cup you always used and set it in the hall. Telemachus stood tall today, he tried not to believe, but I could see his father's smile waiting underneath. I kept the house, I kept the light, I kept your place beside me every night. I kept my word through every doubt. The war is done, the tide has turned, you're coming home. Before the fire goes cold. Come.
The There is smoke above those cliffs. Captain, then someone lives there. We have food, we have water. The wind is turning home. Bring the wine, light the torches. We could sail on, we could. But then we would never know. Men, follow me. I am the son of Poseidon. I am the son of the sea. I live where the cliffs keep their distance, and no one comes looking for me. I am the son of Poseidon. I have only one eye, but it is a good eye. It sees what it needs to see. One day strangers came to my cabin. I was so pleased. Visitors, stories new to me. They brought wine and unfamiliar food, and tales of their adventures at sea. Alas, it was not me they came to see. They were thieves, liars of the cruelest sort. Perhaps I misunderstood who should eat, yet later they called me beast. Nobody came, nobody stayed, nobody drank with me. Nobody laughed, nobody lied, nobody took what was mine. Nobody raised a weapon, nobody darkened the light. He called it clever, I call it unkind. He sat there and spoke like a brother. He poured out the wine with a smile. He told me his name was nobody, and I believed him a while. Then fire came into the darkness, and darkness came into my eye. I called to the others for mercy, but nobody heard me cry. Nobody came, nobody stayed, nobody drank with me. Nobody laughed, nobody lied, nobody took what was mine. Nobody raised a weapon, nobody darkened the light. He called it clever, I call it unkind. Remember the name. The cleverest mind, the master of games. I blinded the Cyclops, I conquered the cave. I am Odysseus, I sail everywhere. Odysseus.
We were born with only this, a breath, a voice, the space between one heart and another. Listen before you see us, before you fear us. He's always carried songs longer than names. When our voices find each other, we can almost fly. For one brief moment, the world becomes harmony. They say we call men to their deaths, no. We call them to wonder. What follows was never our choosing. Stay just long enough to hear the last note fade. Stay long enough to remember beauty.
We were clear of the cavern. We were safely offshore. The monster blind behind us, we had won. What did I need more? But victory without a witness felt too much like disappearing. So I climbed above the railing to make certain he was hearing. Odysseus, son of Laertes, king of Ithaca, breaker of sieges, builder of schemes, master of exits, the man who walked into the monster's house and left him in the darkness. Tell your father, tell the islands, tell every ship that crosses by, nobody did not defeat you, I did. And the sea remembered. I gave the sea my name, the sea gave back the storm. Every wave that struck the ship knew exactly who we were. I gave the sea my name, my men were tied to mine. They never asked for glory, they were simply there beside me at the time. A king needs a story needs a hero needs a name needs to be heard. That is how history works, that is how legends live. Someone has to tell the tale, though fewer men remain to tell it. Nobody got us out, Odysseus got us cursed. Funny how the cleverest man alive could not tell which name was worse. I gave the sea my name, I cannot call it back. It followed every sail we raised and marked us on the map. I gave the sea my name and called the echo fame. Now every empty place aboard answers when I say it again. Odysseus, Odysseus. How many men does one name carry? Who do you you are.
One more father, one more son, one more promise
Undone. So, you're Odysseus. Do you know whose sea you're sailing? Can you imagine the cold beneath these waves? Your breath giving way, your eyes fed to eels. You stand before the king of the sea, yet this isn't about me. You saw a monster, I saw my son. No, he wasn't much to look at, never was. His mother, the sweet nymphthusa, thought he was beautiful. So did I. He lived alone until you came. You shared his wine, you took his trust, then you took his eye, then you laughed, then you shouted your name across my sea. Tell me, who do you think you are? You ask for mercy now. Would you have spared the man who blinded your son? Would you have simply turned away? What else can a father do? Would you want any less? I am a god, but before that, I was his father.
Gods remember,
Fathers,
never forget.
because you are my brother's favorite. You will live
Not as a gift,
as a lesson. You will know one more sea,
one more storm,
one more loss.
one more shore.
Go home, Odysseus, if I ever allow it. I never thought you could love him. Of course I could. He's my son.
Must I change your men back, sir? Have you seen your men dine? They are barnyard beasts, I have merely provided them a level of comfort found among their kind. Still, you have asked so politely, here you go, sit down, Odysseus. You have crossed a war, insulted a god, blinded his son, and shouted your name across the water. One everyone begins to suspect you find trouble wherever you are introduced. You survive the sirens. Did you know the trick with the wax and perhaps the honey first? All kidding aside, listen carefully. The road ahead will not reward courage. It will not care how many battles you survived. You are still asking how to win. I will tell you how to pass. There are two cliffs narrowing the water. On one side, Charybdis, a mouth beneath the sea that swallows the ship, the mast, the name, and every man aboard. On the other, Scylla, 6 mouths she will want, 6 men. There is no bargain, no appeal, no clever name to hide behind. Keep close to Scylla, row quickly, do not stop. Look at you, you wanna fight, you think you will win. Don't do it, don't be foolish again. The gods will look poorly on this. It really was a pleasure knowing you.
That was the choice Circe gave me. One narrow course, one living ship, one monster waiting above me. I did not tell them. What good would it do? Fear makes cowards of sailors. A captain sees what others cannot. A captain carries the failure. I chose the passage, I counted the cost. I held the course while the others were lost. Call it cruel, call it command. Someone must choose, someone must stand. I wore my armor, I lifted my sword. A king does not enter a monster's jaws unarmed. 6 men call my name, 6 hands reached across the rail, 6 voices rose above the water while the hero tried and failed. 6 men knew too late what their captain knew before. I saved the ship, I kept the course, and 6 men paid for sure. I could say there was no other way. I could say that Circe chose. I could say the sea demanded what only the captain knows. But I watched them take their stations. I watched each man prepare, and every order that I gave them was a lie shaped like a prayer. You knew, I knew, you armed yourself. I thought you knew, I knew, and said nothing. 6 men called my name, 6 voices I still hear, not asking me to save them, only why I brought them here. 6 men knew too late what their captain knew before. I saved the ship, I kept the course. What kind of victory is that for? I chose 6 men, I never asked which 6. gathered every hostile wind, the north, the south, the east. I bound them in an oxhide sack and set the west wind free. I gave him clear and open seas, his island stood in sight. He only had to hold the course for one more night. You gave a sailor wind inside a bag and trusted him to keep it closed with sailors who had crossed through Troy. 10 years from home and no one knows what treasure their commander holds. A bag of wind, a sleeping king, a crew who heard the gold coins sing. One day from home, the harbor near, and someone said, "What's hidden here?" They opened it. Of course they did! Back through the waves, back through the foam. Imagine losing sight of home! They came again, I turned them out. A man rejected by the gods should learn what that means. Or ask which god rejected him. Poseidon, you have been remarkably quiet. Wasn't this the man who entered your son's home, drank his wine, stole his food, and left him screaming in the dark? Odysseus, Odysseus, Odysseus. Enough! Enough. You laugh because men are foolish. You watch them break what they cannot mend. You give them warnings, they call them weather. You give them mercy, they call it weakness. They opened the wind, they marked the sea, they touched what was forbidden and called themselves free. You want the judgment? What? Odysseus! 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 Men! Odysseus! Men! Odysseus! Men! Where are my men? What do you want? What you want is for me. Where are my men? You wanted the sea to remember you. Now it does.
I kept the house, I kept the light, I kept your place beside me every night. I kept my word through every doubt. You went to war, I kept the house instead.
Carried the dead
to be there.
Nothing hurts here, nothing calls your name. Leave your dead beside the water, morning comes without the blame. Nothing follows, nothing needs repair. Close your eyes, the world will turn without you standing there. I have slept beside the dying, I have heard the last breath leave. I have learned that men remember what the gods would have them grieve, then forget them. I cannot, you are tired, that is true. There is mercy in surrendering what memory does to you. Nothing hurts here, nothing calls your name. Every face becomes a shadow, every loss becomes the same. No more orders, no more gods above, no more road that leads you back to someone you once loved. Someone. There was someone, a room, a fire, a woman at the door. She, what was her name? Names are where the sorrow lives. Let the name be gone. No, no, no. Let it hurt. Let every name remain. Grief is not the chain you promised. Grief is proof that someone came. My men were here, they stood beside me, they trusted where I led. I will not purchase peace by leaving them a second time for dead. Nothing hurts here, then nothing matters. Nothing calls your name. I will carry every name. Morning comes without the blame. Morning comes, the blame remains. And still, I choose the day. Penelope. I remember.
You said another woman's name before you knew where you had landed. I should have sent you back to sea. Instead, I gave you wine. Sit down, Odysseus. The waves have done enough with you. You have the look of a man who has been admired far beyond his endurance. here. Leave the sword by the door. No one is invading before dinner. You ask how long I have lived on this island. Long enough to know that heroes are exhausting. Long enough to know they grow quieter when someone stops believing the stories. And you are much more interesting without the army. Stay a while. Let the sea search for someone else. There is bread on the table, wine in the shade, and a bed where no one will ask what you conquered. No kings, no councils, no men with maps explaining where you ought to be. Only sunlight, rain against the roof, my hand. Should you decide you have carried enough alone, do not look so alarmed. Immortality is not contagious, not immediately. You speak of Ithaca as though the island calls your name. Perhaps it does, but tonight it is very far away. And I am here. You have spent 10 years learning how men die. Stay with me and learn something else. How morning enters quietly, how wine tastes when it is not raised to victory, how a body rests when no one needs it to be brave. You may discover there are privileges to being loved by a goddess. Good weather, excellent wine, no armies before breakfast, and time, more time than any mortal man has ever known what to do with. Stay a while. Odysseus, you need not promise forever. Mortals always become nervous when we say forever. Promise me tonight, tomorrow. I will ask again. I kept house. I kept the fire from going out. I kept your name alive. I learned to smile across the room at men I could not abide. They drank your wine, they filled your chairs, they spoke as if you died. I poured another cup for them and kept the door denied. I kept the house, I kept the light, I kept your place beside me every night. I kept my word through every doubt. You went to war, I kept our home. By day I wove what they could see, by night I pulled it free. They thought the weight had made me weak, they never understood me. I fed their pride, I bought us time. I listened to them boast while they drank our wine. I kept the house, I kept the light, I kept your place beside me every night. I kept my word through every doubt. You went to war, I kept the house instead. And yes, I love you, yes I do, but love does not excuse what you put me through. 20 years and not one word. Do you know how many lies I've heard? Still, every ship upon the sea brought some small hope to me. I cursed your name, yet I waited faithfully. I kept the house, I kept the flame I would not let them take your place. I would not let them take your name. I kept my word, now hear me out. You went to war, I kept the house. The fire is low, the night is done. The dog barked and I felt it. Your return.
You make forever sound inviting, fine wine, no winter, no decay. But eternity without a morning is one very long day. You offer youth without an ending, no grave, no grief, no final door. But what would home mean without leaving? What would forever be for? Give me the mortal shore, the roof that leaks the aging door, a face that changes year by year, a life that matters because it disappears. Let the gods keep evermore. I know what I am choosing for, one imperfect life, one woman waiting. Give me the mortal show. Keep the fruit that never withers, keep the bed that never chills. I miss arguments at breakfast, I miss climbing ordinary hills. I miss a kingdom full of problems, I miss the man I used to be. Not because he was worth saving, but because she may still recognize me. Give me the mortal shore, the roof that licks the aging door, a face that changes year by year, a life that matters because it disappears. Let the gods keep evermore. I know what I am choosing for, one imperfect life, one woman waiting. Give me the mortal shore.
You will grow.
I have already started.
You will lose everything.
Then let it be mine to lose. Shore. crosses with me. I am only a mortal man going home. Ithaca, I came home.
I kept the house, I kept the light. I kept your place beside me every night.
I kept my word through every doubt.
You went to war, I kept the house.
You're home.